Hello, lieutenants, economists, and children. It is that cold. It was minus 24 last night. I don't think I was awake. I subscribed to Hulu Plus, and there's all these, not you younger kids, but people my age, you'll appreciate this. Excuse me, just ate. They got all these old Japanese anime from the 70s and the early 80s, which for whatever reason, they would show it in the United States for about 2 weeks. You get really excited because it wasn't the stupid crap that they had. Like, people would die, unlike G.I. Joe, where, the plane blows up out of the air, and then all of a sudden, sure enough, they had to make sure you saw the guy parachute. He's all right. No one dies on Cobra, which behooves the question, why didn't they just, sell it through a chess match? But, anyway. So I was up that night, late last night, watching Fist of the North Star, and, what was the other one? Maybe it was just Fist of the North Star. Oh, Captain Harlock. If you really want to see how nerdy I am, look that stuff up. Anyway, so I was up when it was negative 24, but I wasn't outside, obviously. And that's how cold it is, and that's why I got a glorious hat, and I'm bundled up with my nice sweatshirt, and I look like I'm in Russia. I think we're actually colder than most of Russia right now. So, anyway, today we're going to talk about two things for the boys. Girls, this might help you a little bit too. I'm sure there are two equivalents for women, but this really just does pertain to the boys. And that is, you have two mandatory part-time jobs in life that no one tells you about. Now, your parents who live in the suburbs and went into debt to make it seem like they could afford the family that they have in the McMansion and your degree, and the cars and the SUVs and all that other stuff. They're not going to tell you this. They're going to tell you that you have to go to college and you have to get a job. And that's all you have to do to be successful in life. Just education and college, or education and career. That's how simple it is. And I'm telling you, no. You're going to fail miserably. Or at least you might have a job, you might have a career, you might stay off the government dole, but you'll be a general failure at life. So let's talk about your two part-time jobs. The two part-time jobs they never tell you about is, one, that you have to work out physically, lifting weights, and that, two, you have to start a business on the side. So let's take these two separately. First, the lifting of the weights. I cannot think of anything I hate more than lifting weights. I do it every other day for about an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half. I have the luxury of being able to do that because of the lifestyle I have. I can only imagine what a royal pain in the ass would be as if I had a real job. Still, it doesn't matter. This is a mandatory part-time job. And the reason why is simply this. There is nothing that is going to make you more successful than women than being in superior physical shape. Right? Now, if you're short, tough shit, those are the things, you can't control that. But you can control your physique. So you have to watch what you eat, you have to run, but most importantly of all, you must lift weights. And it's mind-numbingly boring. Really, you got the idea. You've seen it, you know what's going to happen. Now, to help with that, thank God for podcasts or MP3 players. I don't know how people did it without that. Running or lifting weights. So you have that. Bring a smartphone, because you can't always be working out. You need to take a break in between your sets. So I always bring my smartphone and do email and some work while I'm doing that. So it does dull the pain. But that being said, it is going to help you more than anything else in getting girls. And actually, especially if you're younger, you're going to spend a lot of time going to bars, going to clubs, spending money on covers, spending money on drinks, spending time on online internet dating things, on Facebook, whatever. Take half of that time and put it towards the gym. You're going to have much better success, much better results than doing that. So it sucks. I'm sorry to tell you that, but you got to commit to running and lifting weights. The lifting of the weights is more important. For some people, running is harder. I don't know, I've always been cardiovascularly better at it than I am lifting weights. But, sorry guys. And then when you get married, you know what? Still gotta do it. Still gotta fucking do it. Because if you're gonna insist that your wife stays in shape, has that little trim body and all that, you better do the same damn thing. Otherwise you got a right to go and run away with, Fabio or whatever. Your second mandatory part-time job is the one that will get rid of your full-time job, and that is starting your own business on the side. You will never, listen to me, you will never, ever become rich or financially independently wealthy working for somebody else. It will not happen. You might become financially well off, you might become comfortable, but you will not become rich. You will always need that job. Therefore, you'll never be financially independent. Therefore, you will never truly, in the truest sense of the word, you will never truly be free. You will always have to go 40 hours a week, probably more, especially with commuting, into that office and dealing with people that are probably underneath you, or people who don't have your best interest at heart, that are using you so they can make... Why do you think people hire you? Because they lose money on you? No, they hire you because they make money off of you. So, the only way you can get yourself make riches and be truly financially free is starting your own business. And not only are there financial benefits to it, there are psychological benefits to it. Because, as I'm sure some of you are well aware, when you have to work with other people, there's a lot of fucking idiots out there. And when it's just you, when you're the boss, depending on whether or not you got to hire people, I recommend not hiring people or just having it very, very few people, some kind of business where it's just you, just you. You're the only one in command and the only one there. You get a psychological benefit in that. One of them. There's thousands of psychological benefits to being self-employed, but the one I love the most is I decide what's going to be done. End of discussion, and no committee, no meeting, no fucking gray hair that I gotta explain what Excel is, no fucking biased, bought-off, scumbag, corrupt banking piece of scum that's got he's bought off by his clientele. No, it's just me, like Jack Walsh in Midnight Run, Robert De Niro, great movie. There is nobody else. There is no payoff. It's just me, all right? And it allows me the nimbleness and the speed by which I can run circles, right, around other people, bosses and all that. So that's just one benefit, and there are thousands. More sleep, you're happier, you get more sun, you're in better physical health, which results in because you're working out. It is just this a wonderful thing. And you know what? Rubbing their fucking faces in it is great. It's childish and petty. Yeah, damn right it is, and it feels great. Every day, I look up at the different... I track all my old bosses as much as I can, just to make sure they're still slaving away 40 hours a week and sucking it in the corporate world. And they are. And they don't have the life I do. So that's another psychological benefit. But regardless, you have to. I'd say starting at the age of 18, if you can, even earlier, is start running a business on the side. Now, don't just run some random business on the side. It has to be a legitimate business. And the truth is, it's going to take some trial and error. I've tried to start at least a dozen businesses, like business ideas, and none of them lost money, but most of them, I'd say at least 9 of them, petered out. They didn't make enough money to warrant pursuing. So don't think you're going to start this one business on the side and that's the one and da-da-da-da-da. It's going to take some trial and error. It is also going to take time, but it's best you start now at 18 than when you're 40, and here's the reason why. If you treat starting a business, running your own business, as a serious and dedicated part-time job, and you start at 18, or maybe after you graduate from college at 22, you will not, businesses just don't poof happen. Some do, but that's a rare instance. It takes time to grow. So by the time you're 35, 40, which may seem eons from now, and talk to any 35 or 40-year-old, see if they'll confirm what I'm saying right now, you'll have built up enough business or clientele by the time you're 35 or 40, you have fuck you money. And fuck you money is where you get to tell your boss to fuck you. I'm working here because I want to, and I won't tolerate abuse, lies, deceit, misleading job descriptions, changing duties, mission creep, all this other crap that older generations like to abuse younger generations for. So, just as seriously as you're going to dedicate yourself to working out and lifting weights, you must also dedicate yourself seriously and committedly towards starting your own business on the side. Now, some of you, I understand, you really are not the entrepreneurial type. You really don't want it. And I understand that, but I would say that's a rarity. That'd be like only 5% of the population. Because I can't see people wanting to be some corporate or government job bitch. I can't see anyone doing that. So you might be into, well, how do I run a business? Trust me. Here, don't worry about running the business. A business is an idea. You just need a good idea. You just need to find a way to make money. It doesn't have to be glorious. Like the dude, like back in the day when they used to put gold into the wiring of computers, he'd go through garbage bins, disassemble computers, and pull out the gold. It wasn't glorious, but he made money. He was in a garbage bin. Right? So don't worry about gloriousness or anything like that. You just care about the coin. It's going to take you a while to figure out what your niche is. But once you have a good idea, that's it. Don't worry about accounting. Don't worry, well, I've never ran a business before. It's easy. Go to your Secretary of State, file an LLC. That just makes it legal. You can file under different types of companies, but I just keep it simple. Let's just go with the LLC. Don't even worry about what it stands for, what it is. Here's your 2 steps. Go to the Secretary of State, fill out an LLC form. You can do it on the internet. Set up a bank account for your company. And then for accounting, everyone worries about accounting. Simply save all your receipts that are relative to the business, and in the end, add it up to find out what your revenues are, subtract out all your expenses, and then give all that to an accountant. That's the simplest way to manage a company, because you just got to take care of accounting and legally setting up the company. Then you go and you manage the business. That's it. So, if you follow those 2 things, all right, you're going to be light years ahead of everybody else. You're going to have more success with the opposite sex. You will also put yourself in a prime position where you're still relatively young, in your 30s and your 40s, where you don't have to worry about retirement, where you don't have to worry about a boss. You could even use your income, even if it's enough just to support you in the field. I did this a lot. I made money teaching dance classes, and I had rental income, rental properties. And I didn't have to take jack shit from my bosses in banking. Was it nice making 6 figures? Yes, but it wasn't worth it. It wasn't listening to these fat, bloviating blowhards. Bankers, they're scum. They are. It's not like, let's just blame. They're not like our scapegoat or our whipping boy. Bankers really are the scum that they're pretended to be. But even if you have like just a minimum amount of income that can float you, that you don't have to take the abuse of employers, absolutely. Then you can negotiate for more, tell them to pound sand, tell them to fuck off. You may not be buying a Ferrari anytime soon, but trust me, the psychological benefits, the mental health that comes with not having to go in, day out, just to deal with sociopaths is amazing. So, I'm sorry, didn't mean to lay that on you. And you don't have a choice. I mean, you have a choice. You could go and become that person with the one job, go to school, and just be like everyone else. But if you want something a little bit different in life, 2 things you got to do. I mean, there's many things. The 2 mandatory part-time jobs. Lift weights, exercise too, and start a business on the side. ASAP, right now. No fucking excuses. All right, toodles. Oh, what else? Hey. That wasn't in here. That's something I came up. But buy Bachelor Pad Economics anyway, because a lot of good advice like that. It's basically a father in a book, or an older brother in a book. So if you're raised by like a single mom because your dad was a jerk and you never seen him and you wonder what drove him away, or you don't have any older brothers. Matter of fact, if you have no male leadership in your life or no male role models, get that book. That's like male role model in a book. Toodles.